God of Hand as well, if I wanted to. So I was gonna play Warcraft 3 or watch the chess stream, either of those, but then I reminded myself that I still have not finished this game, and until I don't finish it I can't start streaming something else. So, but I have other plans, other games, other shit shows to run here. So I'm not saying I will be ending it tonight, but at least move on to the Phoenix arc of this case. So right now, February 9, yes, February 9, 48 AM, this record defendant lobby number 1. Oh my, Miss Loris feels that way about me? Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Worry not. And in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does it mean Mr. Loris is the witness today? No? I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini. But I don't see any bikinis. She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Alice Donim, correct? That is correct. It wasn't me. Very well, then. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You are a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed? Don't worry. I made the necessary arrangements. I see. Iris, it is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. But right now, I am a defense attorney. Defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth, I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself, whether or not I am fit to do the task I have been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. February 9, 10 AM, District Court, courtroom number 7. This judge again. Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Look at Edgeworth, it's so weird to look at him from this side. It's just mirrored, but they put a nice the attorney's badge on his collar. And there's no prosecutor in this case, so I have automatically win. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Well, indeed, I am the prosecutor as well. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant not guilty.
Objection!
The prosecution stands ready. And you are? Franziska von Karma, prosecuting prodigy. Von Karma, you say? Perchance you wouldn't be of any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma? Legends are a thing of the past, von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request I flew in today for the purpose of prosecuting this case. You did, then you must be a quite big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as this man among those of the prosecutor's office. There isn't? But I'm sure... I told you, there is no such weakling. What is that, a whip? I'm not sure I care for such thing in my courtroom. Bailiff, remove that whip at...
Hold it!
I have no objection to the whip. You don't? The prosecution can wield the whip or drink 17 cups of coffee. But there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix Wright here today. But looking at you now... Maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about people acting bizarrely in my court. The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well, Miss Von Karma, please give an outline of this case. With as little whipping as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author Miss Alice Donim. Her body was found in the Hazakura temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question, correct? Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. Crime photo. There is no mistake. Was the doing of Sister Iris. This was the doing of Sister. After all, there is a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Hold on here. I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for a back pain plagued witness. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me? Well, I'm the headman of Hazakura Temple on Eagle Mountain. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with leisure in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once. You want me to leave? You want me to get your bikinis in a twist? Let me tell you, I'm sight to behold in summer. In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say then. First, tell us about your own movements that night. Am I talking actually? I have to check it. Yes, I'm ready to go. The night of the murder. That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura temple. There's no bath in the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back, that's when I saw it. So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura temple? Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed at the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement that she just made. There is only one problem with this testimony that I can see. And you are not about to fall at the first hurdle now, are you, Miles Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. God damn it, this is the best case. I'm playing as Edgeworth. As a defense attorney. Well, there's 2 games about that, but still.
Hold it!
You left Iris to help. With what? What do you think? The acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 PM, so we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper. Was it your place to remain with the disciple? Well, the job is simply to watch over the acolytes so they don't pass away. Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in the inner temple, correct? Yes, she's a gently honest girl. She never once feared my... She has never once feared to follow my directions. There's no mistake. Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their powers of observation and memory, after all. Well, don't worry. I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of the Hazakura temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I would like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. She claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No. She said that? A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. All people lie, that is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie, which means we must call your memory into question. Dear. You're older than me and yet you want to play that game, do you? Oh, well, that isn't exactly what My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Then, I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination. Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. I was naive to think that alone would do the trick. Then please add your comments about Iris to the testimony, and let us return to the cross-examination. Witness, let's get one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met. She was wearing this demon warding hood, correct? Of course. That is a very important piece of clothing, I will have you know. Wait a minute. Hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night, before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then Iris, she saw, should have been the missing this very hood. Well, it's not a bad feeling at all, exposing contradictions like this. I understand that Happy will come right face every time he does it. Order in the court. Please, witness. Sister, this hood. You have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see a stockpile, a surplus of hoods, eh? Each one is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. Then this is quite strange. If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There is no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in a human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness. While I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to Inner Temple. Those seeds of doubt are spurting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. After my bath. I finished my bath around 11 and I thought I should return to the Inner Temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and Iris was, oh, Mystic Alice. And with that sword of all things. Mystic Alice was staying in the corner room which faces out onto the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court, and me seeing it all from this very chair. Well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look the fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name, can't you do something about that habit of yours? Speedrun. Oh, did I press? Okay. Impressive logic, that's what I would like to say anyway. Oh, please do, my brain is something else, especially in winter. However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Miss Von Karma, would you be so kind as to take another look at the autopsy report? I updated it. The autopsy report? The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed. That's right, it says after death right here. The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. If the defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard, how did the victim then go on take 10-foot fall? Order, order! The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room, don't you agree? That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And she was then thrown out of her window, down into the courtyard below. Were there any signs of struggle in Miss Donim's room? She was stabbed with a sword. That would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Karma, was there any blood? No traces of blood were found in the victim's room. Rip has just caused traces of blood to be found in my glorious playoff bird. However, if there was no blood in the room, then you claim that... I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure your honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood. When it produces the most blood? Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. Indeed, with the weapon still in the place, it acts like a lid on the wound. That's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. A perfectly reasonable line of thinking. We have come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out of the window with the sword still in place. This removes all of the contradictions. Order, order, order! I must admit this is a probable version of events. I will expect no less from Franziska von Karma. She locates and takes control of every vital point. It seems that we need a clearer testimony from the witness. Remove all supposition on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please! Remain standing on the crate. Don't go selling me short now. The weight of winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood. Sister, please give us your testimony. I will give you a vigorous message once we are finished here. With the whip. Oh boy. Alright, alright. Further details. When I looked across at the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about now, I didn't actually see your step, Mystic Alice. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't blame me, can you? And when I woke, Mr. Cammy was stabbing Mistress Alice through the back. This all confirms Miss Von Karma's theory. Von Karmas strive for nothing but perfection. Putting together such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth. Perfection is an impossibility, Francisco Von Karma. And I'm here to teach you just that. Okay, so there was no direct contradictions here, so I have to press on the statements. And that time, was the victim bleeding? Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course, so I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think I saw any blood, not then. I'm sure that you didn't. The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound. In any case, let's be clear on one very important point. Did you actually see the instant in which the victim was stabbed? Think carefully, this is very important. It's Iris we are talking about here. I'm thinking for all I'm worth. No, when I looked over, the sword was already in Mr. Alice's body. Might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory. The victim was stabbed in her room and then dropped into the courtyard. I think this proves it rather well, Miles Edgeworth. By Mystic Emmy, you are referring to the golden statue, correct? The stabbing someone with the Shichishito, a sacred treasure, is terrible enough. But to then make Mystic Emmy hold the blade? Truly a heinous, despicable crime. It is easy to despise something, anyone can do it. However, there is something that cannot be done so easily. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's doubtfully hard for you. Anyway, what is the problem? Exactly, why would the killer set this gruesome scene? Can anyone explain the reasoning behind it? No, I don't think I can. There isn't always a logical reason behind why someone acts. That's true, so true. In early spring, for example, I often find myself. That isn't always. That phrase might come in handy someday. There are too many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it necessary to use the Shichishito from the Emi statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back in the hand of the statue? If I can expose the flaws in this testimony, perhaps then I will begin to find the truth. Stabbing her through the back. I'm not sure about this, but as I'm playing Edgeworth, I can't afford to. Yeah, figured as much. No, I can't afford to take penalties. $10.50. 7 to 10.50. She died. So you are saying that you saw the victim's blood? That's right. Some of it had splattered onto Iris too. When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner. What? The clothes were blood-flecked as well? That seems quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Does this point further? Yes, further. Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw a little bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now, you say you saw the victim bleeding? Well, I say that what I saw is what I saw. What did you see? Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her plain as day. Oh, I needed this. Okay, I didn't know. Pulling the sword out? Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out. Witness, you will add the statement to your testimony. Oh, was that important? More importantly than you can imagine. Shichishito here, it's only the tip is covered in blood. Sister Bikini, you are a reliable witness. At least, I would like to think so, but there are too many contradictions here. What do you mean? You make it sound as tough a liar. Make it though. Sound as though I'm a liar. But you are a handsome young man, so I forgive you. What contradictions are you talking about? In the scene that the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to its hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. What do you mean? Please explain it. Explain yourself. Start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hilt with this? No matter how I look at it, the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for that. Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble. I too may appear to be weak and frail, but I can crush men under my heel and make them weep. So should I so choose? The objection stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit. That isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it, it certainly wouldn't come out smoothly. That's also the problem of the amount of bleeding. It's true that when the blade is left in the body, it acts as a plug of sorts. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding. That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with the shichishito. Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly and may still sometimes stop the blood loss. I'm not finished. There is still one more conclusive contradiction. You've still got more? This one is simple. If this sword really was thrust in all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip? If this witness is telling the truth, then there should be blood along the entire length of the sword. No. Order. Bravo, Miles Edgeworth, raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other authorities I could maybe manage one, if that. What does all this mean? You have proven contradictions regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer. And that is, the weapon used to kill the victim was not the shichishito. What? A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy foolish fool. Let's examine this again. What was it that made us think this sword was the murder weapon? Well, it's because Mr. Kemi was holding it. Exactly. However, if you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that a shichishito was the murder weapon. So maybe the Shichishito was not a murder weapon? Even if that is the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. The sister here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object. That's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to? It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us as to if a sword-like object was found. That's... Answer the question, Miss von Karma. No evidence of that kind was found. Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast. Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something actually. What is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was it was just over there. What exactly are you going on about here? The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe... I think I might know where the sword was disposed of. You what? Well then. I think we need to hear the testimony from you one more time, sister. Impossible. What else? What else could this old woman have seen? Location of the weapon. I saw the murder at around 11 PM. And after asking that it would be reported, I went out to the main gate. And there I saw tracks that indicated that snowmobile had been used. It takes 50 minutes to walk to Dusker Bridge, but less than 5 using one of those. Maybe they threw the weapon into a River River and came back while I was knocked out. Iris could have done that. She can drive a snowmobile after all. Snowmobile. Witness, please tell us everything you know right away next time. Well, I'm not in the best of shape with my back and my age, you know. Right, there were indeed snowmobile tracks in front of the main gate. Here it is a photograph. Snowmobile, eh? I see. Well, it certainly is an interesting theory. The tracks begin in front of Hazakura Temple and run all the way to Dusker Bridge. That solves your pesky little problem, yes? The Ego River's current is quite swift, meaning that it doesn't freeze over in winter, making it the perfect place to dispose of the murder weapon. Did she really go to the river to dispose of the murder weapon? Mr. Edgeworth, your cross-examination, please. I think I know what I have to present here. Like right away. Yeah, like that couldn't have happened. Oh no. Now I have to reload it from the very beginning. Oh, this can't happen as I'm playing Edgeworth. The fuck? Speedrun. Really now? The frame rate is dying. Or I mean the bit rate. Okay. Location of the weapon. Or the tracks photo? And we have to check the tracks photo. Yeah, this one. My original idea was to... Okay, it was snowing the whole time. Apparently no. Okay. Yeah, I overthought this. I admit this photograph proves something. Proves that the snowmobile was used on the night of the murder. You finally accepted the inevitable, it seems, Miles Edgeworth. However, if what the witness says is true, then why is there only one set of tracks? What do you mean? Iris left Hazakura Temple, threw the weapon into the river, and then returned. If this was the case, then naturally there should be two sets of tracks in the snow. Those from heading out to the bridge, and those from coming back. Ah, you're right. You're forgetting one thing, Miles Edgeworth. On the night of the murder, it was snowing. The tracks leading to the bridge were erased by the snowfall. This removes your precious contradiction now, doesn't it? I see. While she was at the rivers, the snow stopped, leaving just the return tracks in the snow. What do you have to say now, Miles Edgeworth? Is there a flaw in her theory? This idea that the snowfall covered one set of the tracks, there is a contradiction. The tracks to the river were covered by snow, but a nice theory. However, Miss Von Karma, that is impossible. Would you care to explain why there is a root index finger currently pointed in my general direction? No need, the evidence will do all of the talking for me. On the night of the murder, the killer went to and returned from Dusky Bridge in order to dispose of the murder weapon. The outgoing tracks were erased by snow, or so claims Miss Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth, present your evidence to the contrary, eh? Evidence that the outgoing tracks were not covered by snow. Yeah. Ultimately, it all comes down to one point. That being, whether or not it was snowing in the courtyard when the victim was stabbed. That's right, but proving that is incredibly easy. If you want to know whether it was snowing or not, this photo will tell us everything. Of course, I'm referring to the photo of the crime scene. As you can see, everything is covered with snow, with just one exception, and that is the victim herself, Miss Alice Donim. Why is there no snow on the top of her? The answer is simple. It has stopped snowing when she was killed, that's why. In other words, if the killer really did go to the Eagle River to dispose of the murder weapon, then in this photograph there should be two sets of tracks. Order. Just what are you suggesting, Miles Edgeworth? To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself, but this is simply what all of the facts point to. That night, someone used the snowmobile to leave Hazakura Temple. From the tracks left, it can be understood that they were heading for Dusky Bridge. At that time, it was still snowing. Of course it was, because those tracks were erased by the snow. Then, when this person returned to Hazakura Temple, the snow has stopped. Thus, the return tracks remained. Can I say something? This This all sounds but a bit fishy to me. What does, sister? There is only one key for the snowmobile. Furthermore, on the night of in question, we know that the defendant had it. The key was found in her room after the murder, which can only mean that night Iris used the snowmobile to go into the inner temple. But Iris said that she never went there. I should probably press on this point some more when I get the chance. The snowmobile can't cross the suspension bridge, so she must have left it on the Hazakura side of the bridge and crossed on foot. That sounds right, but what's all this when I left Iris and returned to Hazakura temple? I didn't see anything near Duska Bridge. Must have just failed to see it, sister. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura temple, it was there, by the main gate. The snowmobile, I mean. I know what I saw. It was covered in snow too. But that isn't possible. Order in the court. What does all this mean? So then, what was the snowmobile used for? It wasn't taken by the defendant when she went to the inner temple. If it had been, then the witness couldn't possibly have seen it by the gate. Furthermore, it wasn't used by the killer to dispose of the murder weapon. If that was the case, there should be two sets of tracks in this photo. All we know is this. After it stopped snowing, someone used the snowmobile to return to Hazakura temple. I never thought a simple snowmobile could cause so much trouble. I think we have learned all we can from this witness. Yes, I've got nothing more to add. I've told you everything that I know, but then that still leaves us with the same problem. If only there were someone, a witness, who could testify to having seen the snowmobile. A witness, huh? Was there no one out walking perhaps near Duska Bridge on that night? I don't think that's likely. It was cold enough to freeze your ears off. Only an idiot would go out wandering in that, unless they had something really important to do. That's a shame. Hold on. Something is coming to me. An idiot may well have gone wandering out on the subarctic night. Your Honor, actually there just might be one individual who may be of help to any of us. God damn it, really. You know of someone who might have seen the snowmobile on the night of the murder? I don't know for sure if he saw it or not, but there are two things about him that do come to my mind. Which are, first, that he saw something incredible on the night of the murder, and the second being, this individual that I'm thinking of went wandering outside in the cold night. In other words, he's our kind of idiot. Mr. Ezra, who is this idiot you're talking about? No. Pearl? Just Pearl. Odo? This guy must be a product of John Loduk's Guide to Obnoxious French Painting. This is Larry Butts, disciple of the victim, Alice Downing. Her student, interesting. And why was he wandering about outside on the night of the murder? That's... I could tell them all about her designs for Iris, but it may cost us his credibility as a witness before I even call him. He is, after all, an artist. He was perhaps searching for something in the snowy scenery that would move him, although I cannot guarantee that this is the reason. And so, this unfortunate, unreliable looking man, what exactly was it that he saw? I intend to extract that from him, right here in this courtroom. Summon this youth as a witness immediately. I have no choice, do I? I believe he is in the gallery for this trial. It will not take long to summon him. Very well. Larry. You may have escaped me yesterday, but today I'm going to get everything out of you. Court will now adjourn for 20-minute break. Miss Von Karma, please see preparing to the next witness. The next witness. Understood, Your Honor. Good. Well then, court is now in recess. I'm trying to create my own sentences when I'm reading, and I don't read what they are trying to say, but I just hear this very familiar phrase that they are trying to say, and I'm saying it. Then I realize that's not what's written there, and I'm confused myself. I hate reading out loud because I'm messing it up all the time. February 9, 11:15 a.m. This record defendant lobby number 1. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not really sure what to say. Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are 2 things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, I'll help you any way I can. First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying. Mr. Edgeworth, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple. Very well. The second thing then, that night the Tempest Snowball was used in between the time Miss Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore the witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowball? There is only one key for the snowball. The only person who could have used it was me. So it was you. But why? What made you go out to the Dusker Bridge? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Iris, I can't tell you about that yet. Yet? Not until her safety is confirmed. Her? The safety of the acolyte. The acolyte? Huh? She must be talking about Maya. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Alice Donim? No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life. As I thought. No psychologs. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You will discover this for yourself soon enough. February 9, 11:36 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 7. Court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior. He was sketching something very intensely. Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained? He drew a terrifying woman, armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip. I can only presume that his intention was to capture... Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Lauris Donim, I hope you're ready. Get in here. It would seem that Whip is going to see plenty more of use today. Ouch. Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey, I was just artistic rendering. You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist training out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for the color viridian. Larry, this isn't the art store now, is it? I know, I graduated junior high, you know. Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it? Working in the fields? I presume he wanted to say field work, I hope. That's it. Thanks, buddy. It It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mango train wreck of sentence. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I've got nothing to do with this trial at all. I expect all of your faces to be red when you realize this mistake, bright red. Or, to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Stop your pathetic blabbing and testify like a man. Refrain from whipping, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is bad as cross-checking. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify now. And cross-dressing. Wow, this is too much for me. Ah, this guy is a piece of work. What I saw. I was at the lodge, out in the mountains, looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now, aren't I, edgy? First, I wanna press on the statement, I'm alone. Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody, nothing but a small worthless man, aren't I? And why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation, or anything else? Mr. Adjorf, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people. Yeah, that's right, I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy. Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination with no touching, thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time. Okay, let's see the sentence, if it's in it. Oh, it's not in it. Jesus. Larry Butts. I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic and you cause all sorts of troubles. I'm sorry. But having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. Edgy, are you trying to console me? It certainly doesn't sound that way to me. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create. You're totally pinning this on me. Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Finney's writer to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts. That's right, me in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So, as long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change. But, what do you want me to do then? Larry, what you need to change is your inner self, but for now, what you saw last night, testifying truthfully about this one issue, is all I need from you. Edgy, I think I finally woken up. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping, but anyway, I do it, I testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. I ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? I saw part 2. I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been about 10:30 PM? I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick, girl. Oh no. Nick and Germany. You certainly saw a quiet lot, didn't you? So what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. Totally burnt out, like almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. I never know with that man if he should be called lucky or unlucky. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination. With lucky, he always finds the evidence before the prosecution takes them.
Hold it!
You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that? The lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire, maybe around 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far is this small shack you were in from the bridge? Hold on, well, it had pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about 5-minute walk? And how did Dusker Bridge look when you got there? Like I had recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare. Well, should I press him for a little more info? Why didn't you kill anyone? Cole, I mean, Larry, let me ask you one thing. What is it, edgy? What's with the serious face? Why didn't you kill anyone, Cole, again? Huh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try to tell someone. There is a public phone right by Dusker Bridge, correct? Well, of course I thought of doing that. So then, let's hear why you didn't. Huh? Yeah, okay. My reason. It isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time. I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up. Less than a minute later. What contradicts this? Oh, okay. I think I have to present the map. It would take 10 minutes for Nick to go there. No, actually no. The game thinks otherwise. Maybe there's some other evidence. Maybe the weather data? Yeah, the weather data. Your very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. What the hey, Edgy, you make me sound some sort of alien. But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is the time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those. This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusker Bridge and immediately went to see what happened. Is this correct? Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less. I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusker Bridge, meaning you probably got there around 11 p.m. That all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act. Died. That is impossible. And what do you mean? 11 p.m. is when the murder occurred at Hazakura Temple, thus Wright was still there in the courtyard. There is no way that Larry could have encountered him at the Dusker Bridge at the time. Ah, excuse me, I have an objection. You do? Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry, I'm Loris Donim. It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sister only said around 11. In which case, it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Francisca von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. For there is still no way that Wright could have been at Dusker Bridge at 11 p.m. And why not? It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn down. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m. Which means what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 PM, but Fry did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during those missing 15 minutes? I feel like I just got brutally woken up by toilet splashback. I guess I was still sleeping after all. Haha, pinch me. Order of Ecclesia. So there was missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that as much of a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all. Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes and there is a phone right next to it? Why then did you not report the incident? Yes, witness. Why didn't you were you there simply watching the bridge burn? And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, you were still there. Staring into the space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty. That's what it sounds like. But this is Larry we are talking about, and even he's incapable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction. Edgy, I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. Just as I thought, you have been playing with us all this time. Listen, I'm the murderer. I'm going to tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all? Yes. I may really say this time, everything. Then say it. Well, I have a terrible bad feeling about this, however. Let's have this witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? Missing 15 minutes. I'm Donim. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up into the frenzy of art. The shock and awe that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, the flames had gone out and then he came running up. I suppose artists can be a strange folk. That's right. I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch. Including the truth from the sound of it. Mr. Azure, has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. And what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him. Ha, 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 ha. You'll regret this, Edgy. Sketching, the burning bridge and everything that came with it. What came with it? You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Edgy? Are you regret this? The sketch of mine is... Enough. Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. That does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. What should I do? I've got a terrible feeling that the instant this sketch is revealed, the entire world may be changed by what is depicted there. Look at the sketch. Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please. Well, even I couldn't have imagined it would turn out like this. Imagined what? The Loris Donim's debut would take place here today like this. Show it, now! Okay, but still yourselves. This is the word of Loris Donim. Well... So this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Karma? Yes, well, it's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames, I really did. Yes, I'm sure you did. This is going to get ugly. No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry. What? The burning bridge is fine. But what is that unfortunate looking figure? Are you spotted that? I thought you might. However much I might want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course, Iris. I wish she had taken better care of herself. We have to plan for our future, you know. Future. What would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that? Larry, please, answer this next question, honestly. Okay. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was inflamed in flames? Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist, a real artist. Are you high? The girl, she really high up in this picture. this is my favorite moment in this class. Are you high? What was that for? This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Theory? Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your white theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that the people can fly. Actually, there is some precedent for this. She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She was about 30 feet above the bridge, at least. It was really something to see. This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring this witness back to Earth. What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not? Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edgeworth. Let us get back to the class examination by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. Yes, Your Honor. Looks like I've got another reason to remember this moron. Well, what did you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me. Larry scheduled it to the court record. Now hurry up and cross-examine him.
Objection!
Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I gave you a $1 that it's the truth. If that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain. What might that be? That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant Iris. What do you mean? I don't understand. A foolhardy foolie of a foolish statement by an equally foolhardy foolish boy. How exactly can you make this claim? Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual whom you say you saw was wearing a hood, correct? Of course she was. The rundown shack is quite away from the bridge. The hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench. Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it was Wright who took a flight? What are you talking about? I think you understand what I mean just fine. Why? Why did Nick have Iris's hood? What? Hey gee, what's going on with Iris and Nick? Why you Nick, you dog? I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited and discarded straight into garbage. Huh. What is it now, witness? It feels like I have been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Gee, today is the day I get completely stupefy. What? What is the meaning of outburst, witness? I hate to do this, but I have some definitive evidence definitive. Evidence? Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge. And I, Loris Donim, shall prove it. I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in this sketch, and show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually in reality. Okay, I hope you are ready, Edgy, because I'm going to feed you a whooping serving of pain. You've been serving us a whooping serving of pain this whole time, trust me. Poor Edgeworth. Proved that Iris flew. When I reached Duskabridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me finding a beautiful crystal sphere, half buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. A crystal sphere? This one, pretty, isn't it? But Finders Keepers. Finders Keepers. Oh. Finders Keepers. The sphere. Where did you find it? Let me see. Around here somewhere. Looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow. It had pretty much stopped snowing by then. But there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge. The court accepts this crystal sphere. That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward. There's something on it. Oh my, it's blood. What? Blood. You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning you will be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's going to push me around anymore. Didn't you want to be called Loris Donim only a few minutes ago? Really? No one? Larry. That night, there was someone. Someone who lost a crystal sphere. There was? Who was this stupid idiot? Miss Ellis Donim, the mentor to a stupid idiot. The victim? I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar looking crystal sphere. Hey, that's my photograph, give it back. A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like in on my brooch. They look nothing alike. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff, found at the scene of the crime. Ah, the crystal sphere? It's gone. Whoa. What? What? Just what does this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris, after all. She was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either. That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Alice Donim? A fool alongside another fool, on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that, I saw it with my own two eyes. And this crystal sphere, this is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought, and I'm sure you will realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Alice Donim was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Duskabridge. Therefore, the sphere cannot be related to this case, that is all. Miss Francisca von Karma. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. What are you pointing at me? The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. Yet you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with this case? The crystal sphere was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. After the murder? There is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent, which is the exact same reason that he drew the ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? Our joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case. She makes a valid point. There is no evidence that Alice Downing left Hazakura Temple last night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it is not related to the case, then this witness who you called will have been nothing more than monumental waste of time. Humongous waste. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? Yes, I can. Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. To simply prove it, that's the only option. That's what he would do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving the case. You will do what? That look in your eyes, you remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. That should come as no surprise, because right now I am Phoenix Wright and I am indeed cornered. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. I would say it's the autopsy report, but I save. Evidence that proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. Your response, Miss Von Karma? Birds of a feather flock together. Are you familiar with this phrase, Miles Edgeworth? I think one such bird is calling for its fellow now. Go, go, Edgy, do it, prove it, win, win, win. He's cheering. It's as tough. I'm listening to ominous craves of reverence. Yeah, I thought that wouldn't be good enough. Crime photo, I guess. This crystal sphere, it was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it. That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly. Snowing? On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder. What? Order of Ecclesia. On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to the Dusker Bridge. And there, something occurred that caused the Steph's crystal sphere to come loose. What could have that been? The sphere? There is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusker Bridge. The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard? Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absurd foolishness. Just who is the fool? And which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma? Smug Dwarf. Have you been paying any attention this wartime, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. That's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing! No, it isn't. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of the blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from the body, that would be when blade is removed. If that statement is the truth, then Duskabridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding. You are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. Alice Donium's body was found in the Hazakura Temple. On foot it takes 15 minutes to travel from Duskabridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way? This is easy, Edgeworth. I made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of the events is also perfectly plausible. Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method by the victim whose body was carried to the Hazakura Temple. On the snowy night, there is one way that the body could have been moved. The snowmobile. As you know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could also have been used to carry a body. Order of Clegia. Yeah, this is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You've dug yourself into your own grave. What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body? Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? You are too late, Francisco von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. What? Where was the victim Alice Donium really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point. Edgy. Thank you. I'm not doing this for you. That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Poor Francisco. Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Francisco von Karma, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There was one reason and one alone for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case and then pass it on to Wright. Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had Francie whipping me all... Miles Edgeworth. I don't care what you were here to do. This was my chance to find a Grindy order under my heel. A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. What a shame, Francie. This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You are an affront to all illegal system. Or legal system. I demand satisfaction. Dead. I cannot believe that the witness' testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the questions it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I'm counting on thorough investigation by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, The rest is up to you, right? Court is now adjourned. To be continued. And I think I also continue playing this for a while. I'm still not done. Although this investigation part is fucking... It's long. I'm still up at this hour reading through the trial record of a certain case. It's the first case of my mentor Mia Fey had ever handled in court of law. The horrifying truth that I refuse to accept is holding me hostage here within its pages. Dahlia Hawthorne. What I have read, I don't want to believe. It is written here. This isn't the Dahlia I knew. After falling into the Eagle River, I was somehow miraculously saved, but I ended up catching a cold that seemed to knock me around the world and back. I feel dizzy, my ears are ringing and my throat burns and my head is on fire. But I will recover. I have to recover by this afternoon. I have to meet with the most ill-tempered witness imaginable. But I know that he will be able to help me with him somehow. And now we are here, February 9, 2:43 PM, Duskbridge. Right, are you sure you are well enough to be doing this? You still look a little green in the face. Or maybe Viridian, in order to speak. Actually, my fever has gone down quite a bit. How's your temperature now? Only 102.2 degrees, nothing to worry about. Anyway, I read today's trial record. You weren't bad, Edgeworth. Pretty impressive despite the circumstances. We are not in the clear yet. The main point of contention tomorrow is going to be the murder weapon. Yeah. In the end, the Shichishito did not deliver the deadly blow. Which means there must be another sword hiding out there that we don't know about. Another sword, huh? Don't you worry about the thing, Paul. I dig up the murder weapon myself, or I will eat my coat. Thanks again, Edgeworth. I handle things from here. That is probably for the best. Actually, I was thinking about paying the old Princeton a little visit. There's something I want to look into. And that is our client's background, naturally. You mean Iris, sir? I have the feeling that we have met before. All I want is confirmation, one way or the other. And since I probably won't be getting that from you, I'm sorry, Edgeworth. I bid you adieu. Right, take care. Guess I should get moving too. Why? Do you need to be somewhere? Yeah, I've gotta get to work on this bridge, pal. I'm rigging something up so we can get across to the other side. Oh, that's right. Maya is still stuck over the inner temple. But don't you worry, pal. As soon as it's all set, you'll be first to know. Thank you, Gumshoe. No problem, pal. Just try to not give me that cough of yours, okay? Alright, I'm off. Hang in there, Maya. Get you out, I promise. But in the meantime, I've got to continue collecting evidence. Okay. Let's move to main gate. February 9, Hazakura Temple, main gate. Come on, please! It's for art's sake, I swear. There's one guy I know who could be this persistent and high-strung. I'm talking about the heroine here, the heroine in my book. It will make you famous. Enough! A fool's a fool, fool's fools, who foolishly accept the foolishness of a fool's fool. Wouldn't you agree, Phoenix, right? Huh, me? Wait a second, I know you. You are, oh, your reflexes and mine need to shape up. My brain's frying like a sunny side up, and you want me to grill me over a name? Franzi, you can do that. Even as we speak, Nick's on the brink of death. Or so I'm told. Whip that horse. Isn't that one of your American sayings? No, it's not. and I'm not on the brink of anything. Come on, Nick. Tell her, would you? Tell her she needs to model for my new picture book, Francis Whippity Whip Trip. Before you ask me to model, learn to give at least semi-coherent testimony. And before that you will have to learn how to live a semi-coherent life, Larry. Correct. I don't care what anyone says, I'm telling the truth. I saw what I saw. She flew, I'm telling you. Whoosh! Just like that dude with the red underwear. But you don't think I'm gonna forgive you, guys, when you come crawling back to apologize. Off he goes. Francisco from Karma. It's amazing how little has changed with you in the last year, Phoenix, right? Have you been in Germany all this time? That's right. Extending my perfect win record naturally. Oh joy, sounds like she hasn't changed a bit. Has it really been a year since we first met? I'm Francisco from Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason: revenge. Francisco was born and raised in Germany and became prosecutor at the age of 13. My father was the legendary prosecutor Manfred from Karma. He had a perfect win record for 40 long years, but now he's gone from this world. So actually this simplifies that he died. This sentence here, by the wikis. But let's move on. Don't tell me you still hold a grudge against me because of what happened to your father. Phoenix, right. You will fall before me, I promise. It will be for my sake, not my father's. Are we clear? Yes, Crystal. In truth, I was shocked. I came back to America with the intention of defeating you. Instead, it was my little brother who was leading the defense. Edgeworth, come to think of it. Edgeworth was pulled into being prosecuted by Manfred from Karma as well. Miles Edgeworth told me something very interesting, you know. He said this case has a special significance to you, because it does. And that's precisely why I'm here. Your personal involvement will make crushing you into tensy-winsy pieces all the better. It's probably the fever, but she's so openly hostile that it's almost kind of cute. No smirking, no whipping the sick. That foolish fool doing such foolish favor for such a foolish fool. Edgeworth. Make no mistake, Phoenix, right? I came here for one thing, and one thing? One thing only. I'm going to vomit here. It's not like I thought you were here to bring me some cold killer Rex, you know. I went over the vote case file on the flight over, read the voting. Yes, every last word of every last sentence of every last paragraph. All the ridiculous things you did made it very interesting read, you know. Attempting to cross a burning bridge? Did you even consider the dangers? No. The only thought in my mind was I have to get across. A fool who doesn't think is more foolish than a fool who foolishly thinks. Gumshoe said he would let me know once the bridge was repaired. Maya, she's got to be okay, I just know it. Plus, I need to ask her about what really happened at the inner temple that night. About this. I refuse to help you, Phoenix, right? I should have known better than to try. Okay, let's move to the main hall. Guess I don't have to inspect anything else. That was one long sigh. Sister Bikini. I didn't know you were here. How you're doing? You don't have to pretend to be in good mood for my sake. I suppose I made a terrible mess of things, haven't I? I let Mystic Alice die, and then there's Iris as well. Mystic Alice? Now that I think about it, There's an acolyte stuck at the inner temple, and that poor little girl has gone missing too. That little girl? You don't mean Pearls, do you? Yes, I'm afraid I do. She hasn't been seen since the morning after the incident. Pearls, she's missing? Why didn't anyone tell me about this? I must be getting old. I think I've seriously lost faith in myself. Are you talking about your performance at the trial today? You believe me, don't you? I'm not a liar, I will never lie. I know what I saw. I saw Iris pull that sword from Mystic Alice's body that night. I'm certain of it. At least I was until this morning. I don't see any psyche locks, so she must be telling the truth. So, why are you so unsure of yourself all of a sudden? You know that artist who testified after me? I saw Iris flying, her white hood fluttering. I felt like I must have flying myself. When I saw that man testify so fervently about something so impossible, I started to wonder if I had acted just like him when I was on the witness stand. I wouldn't take that guy too seriously. He's an artist, but all he draws is trouble and nothing else. Both Bikini and Larry are telling the truth. That can only mean one thing. They both didn't see what they think they saw. On the night of the incident, you met Iris at the Inner Temple, is that correct? That's right, I'm sure it was Iris. But Iris claims she was in her room, Hazakura Temple. I knew I shouldn't have come back here to that night, but because you did, Maya is stuck all by herself at the Inner Temple. I'm so sorry. The drafts in the place are nothing to shake a stick at. Winter is especially bad. I'll bet. The training hall looks like it's about to fall down any second. Eagle Mountain has always been prone to earthquakes. Just so you know. Earthquakes. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if the next big one levels the training hall. We've got to get Maya out of there fast. But still, there's really no need to worry. The area on the other side of Dusky Bridge is isolated like an island. It's like an island? How so? Well, the only thing that on that side of the bridge is the Inner Temple. No one lives out there, and it's surrounded on all sides by the river or the forest. I see. So a criminal would be trapped should they choose to flee in that direction, and as long as the bridge is out of commission, he or she will have to stay there. That means Maya could be stuck out with the murderer and with no way of escape either. Oh dear, yes, I suppose it does. Please, Gumshoe, get the bridge up faster. I'm curious about a few things, if you don't mind answering some questions. Oh, do you need to know my measurements for your investigation or something? No. I want to know a little more about the victim, Miss Alice Donim. I'm afraid I don't know her waist size, or bust size for that matter. No. I'm wondering why she came to a place like this, to begin with. I mean, she told us herself that she wasn't here for spiritual training. You make it sound like this place is some sort of dump, Mr. Wright. Mystic Alice was here to soak up all the nature beauty of Eagle Mountain, if you must know. There, you did it again, Sister Bikini. I notice you always refer to Miss Donim as Mystic Alice. Oh? Yes, now, why is that? After all, she's not here as an acolyte. We address all our visitors Mystic. It makes their experience feel authentic. And anyway, she's older than me. You must respect your elders, you know. How do you know that? How can you say for sure that she's older than you? God damn it. And I will have to unlock this. It seems Miss Alice Donim was no ordinary visitor after all. And there's Purse. She was with Miss Donim on the evening of the murder and now she's vanished. It's all got to be connected somehow. Pearl. Why did Purse have to get mixed up in this mess? Please, Mr. Wright, I know you're worried, but try to keep it together. Oh man. My head's throbbing so bad it's killing me. Purse. She was with Donim on the night of the murder, remember? Yes, but I have a temple to run, you know. I was busy preparing for the training. I didn't see the little darling even once after we had finished eating dinner. The murder, it didn't take place right in front of her innocent eyes, did it? According to the detective, she hasn't turned up at her home either. Come on, keep calm. There's one place left where Purse could be. She just has to be there. Come on, Gumshoe. Tell me you'll be done with the repairs soon. February 9, Hazakura Temple Courtyard. This is where Sister Bikini witnessed the incident. It's hard to imagine she was lying on the stand, so maybe there are some clues to have yet to be found. I don't think so. I don't think there's anything here, really. Hey! What was the jarring, inconsiderably loud yell? So this is where you've been, keeping nice and warm, I see. Detective, have you finished repair the bridge? Yeah, I did. I told you I'd let you know. Well, then I come along with you and... Sorry ma'am, no unauthorized entry. Access is restricted to people involved in the case. What was that? I'm involved, aren't I? You couldn't get much more involved than me. Well, yeah, but that's not what I meant. It's been a while, Scruffy. It's... Miss von Karma! Sister, please, leave the investigation to me. My, well, you certainly seem to have everything under control. I'm on your side. I won't do anything you don't want me to do. As you were to pin the guild on Iris. What are you daydreaming about, Phoenix Wright? Oh, that hurts, you know. Silence, fool. I, Francisca von Karma, will personally guide you through your investigation. Ah, I lost 70 frames. I just wanted to check it. I, Francisca von Karma, will personally guide you through your investigation, so you will follow me. She's not seriously going to follow me around, is she? Oh, now we can walk over. Or move over. February 9, Inner Temple Gate. Things have certainly become a lot more hectic than before. They must have commenced with the investigation. Oh, Mr. Nick. That voice. First, Mr. Nick. Mr. Nicholas. So you were here ever since that night. I was so lonely I thought I was going to die. When I woke up in the morning and saw the Dusker Bridge was gone, I realized I was all alone. She was all alone? Must have been very trying for you, little girl. Ah, you are... I'm Francisca von Karma, the prodigy. There's no need to worry that I'm here, now that I'm here. The prosecutor was so mean to Mystic Maya last year. Well, I don't like you. You're nothing but a little girl with your whip. Mystic Maya didn't do anything wrong, but you were so mean. I'll never forgive you. It looks like Pearl's words are getting under her skin. Why are you whipping me? I didn't even say anything. You don't have to. The smile on your lips gave you away. Anyway, Pearls, weren't you with Maya? Ah. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Huh? Did you set the bridge on fire, Pearls? Mystic Maya. Hey, wait, Pearls. She just ran off. That was cruel, Phoenix, right? To make a little girl cry like that is inexcusable. What was that all about? Pearls acting like that. It's giving me the creeps. I guess I better take another look around since I finally got a chance. Especially since something about this place seems different from 2 days ago. There's a weird smell coming from that incinerator. The door is also open, almost like it's begging me to look inside. Well, well, let's see what stunning clue is concealed in here, shall we? Huh? It's empty. How naive of you, Phoenix Wright. But it's a bit strange, don't you think? Francisco von Karma? I seem to remember. There was snow on this incinerator the first time I saw it. In other words, someone been using it to burn something recently. Listen, Phoenix Wright. It's impertinent to call people by their full name. I was only copying you. Phoenix Wright. What? And would you stop calling me by my full name? Was this once a preposterous sport? A port? Yes, that metal hook is one mooring post for boats, you know. Oh, that's an anchor for one of the wires that is used to hold up the bridge. I think the wire that was tied to this one probably snapped when the bridge burned down. I mean, there was no way there was ever a port all the way up here. Don't get smart with me, Phoenix Wright, but I didn't say anything. Okay. Move. Training hall. What's wrong? Why are you so quiet? Maya, she was supposed to be in here training, yet it appears she is nowhere to be seen. What's that? A strange lock. It wasn't there 2 days ago. This war room is really giving up some strange vibes. Yeah. What do you think this yellowish poster is, Phoenix Wright? It's a scroll, not a poster. It's a picture of a woman who's actually... a woman? I don't see any woman here. There's a different atmosphere in this room since the last time I was here. No, it's not a different atmosphere, it's a different smell. It's gravy. What's the matter? The scroll. It's been completely covered in gravy. Ah, yes, there is a very appetizing smell in the air. But gravy is the type of sauce. So when you run out of pain, you Americans use gravy as a substitute? I see. No, no one does that. For starters, it stinks. This must be the gravy that we had with the roast on the night of the incident. Why would anyone do this? Why this scroll? And you scroll updated. Touch to see before and after. View under the check screen. Why can I view it once more? This door. When I was here 2 days ago, that weird lock wasn't on it. Those chains, it's almost as if they are guarding something inside that cavern. I've never seen a lock fight like this before. I have. I've seen locks and chains just like this before. They look just like the ones that guard a person's secrets during a psyche lock. I wonder if this lock is guarding something too. Dark secrets in a dark cavern. What took you so long? I thought even you would manage to get here faster than this. Mr. Trite. Prosecutor Godot? I didn't know you were here. Prosecutor? How come you didn't show up the trial today? Ha! I could ask you the same question. Huh? But I had the court, so I had something slightly more important than a common court to deal with. The importance of which is something you have no hope of ever understanding. Enough! I believe I have the measure of you. You are the very worst kind of prosecutor. What could be more important than a trial? Who's the white mare, Trite? This is Miss von Karma. She was acting prosecutor in your absence today. Huh! Well, I guess I owe you one then. But you can go now, princess. It's time for the big boys to take the reins. Just who do you think you are? This case is mine. Hey, Philly. Know your role and shut your mouth. I can stand women like you. I'm only going to say this once, Lady von Wippenberg. Go home. Phoenix, right? What are you hitting me for? Huh. You deserve more cracks of that whip than that, Trite. What? You still don't get it, do you? You don't realize that you have set something in motion that you will never be able to undo. There's something different about Godot today. I'm getting such a strong sense of something from behind that mask of his. Is it anger or is it sorrow? You had some important business, that's why you weren't in court, huh? So what was it? I've told you once before, but perhaps you don't remember. I've returned from the depths of hell to do better with you. You see, Trite, I've experienced something must have not, death. You died? Of course, being extracted from hell is a tedious affair. Meticulous regeneration and adjustment of all your internal organs is, let's just say modern medicine allows us all to live the rip old age. Even someone like me. So you mean that Matthew wears this ugly device? I promise it's not a fashion statement, my unenlightened friend. Without this, I can see your frequently dumbfounded face. I didn't know. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my face, I still can't see everything. Still, I keep this worn-out piece of junk of body going with regular servicing. I'm sorry, but you say you experienced death. How is that possible? What happened? Why don't you ask him? Huh? Me? Yeah, right, you. You should know all about it. You know when my life ended, and who ended it for me. Well, Phoenix, right? Do you? I don't know what he's talking about. Although, to be honest, I do feel a little tug at the corner of my memory. I think I do know about how Godot was killed. It will all become clear in due time. Isn't that right, Trite? Can't undo? Earlier you said I have done something I can never undo. What did you mean by that exactly? That inner temple here on this side of Duskabridge is an isolated island. That's a system we can set to. And I wonder, Trite, do you know what the police are doing here today? What do you mean? They are searching. Searching for any trace of an acolyte who went missing. Missing? As leader of the search party, I can tell you with this absolute certainty, Maya Fey is not on this side of Duskabridge. Huh? But that's impossible. She came here last night and... I won't say it again. The chances of her being here are nil. Excluding, of course, one very unique place. One? Where is that? The Sacred Cavern, the entrance of which we are standing at right now. This is the only place that the search party has yet to explore. So they haven't searched the cavern yet, huh? Be aware though, that the temperature inside frequently falls below freezing. Even if she were in there, the chances of her being found alive are slim at best. No. Which means, Trite, that you sent Maya Fey to her death. You fool! If that's the situation, why aren't you in there with the search party right now? You must have blinders on, my equestrian angel. Don't you see the big lock and chains? It's a trick lock. I'm making preparations to open it as you speak. Well, Trite? Once again, a woman dies because of you. Once again? What are you talking about? Don't tell me you have forgotten. It was only 2 years ago after all, when the last unfortunate woman died because of you. Because of me? And do you know who that was? It was Maya Fey's sister, that's right, Mia Fey. Mia? You killed her. No, that's not how it was. It was 2 years ago. Mia Fey was pursuing someone, a man. But she bit off more than she could chew. She made a very dangerous enemy. Yeah, that's one case I will never forget. But I got that guy. Personally. Sure. Maya Fey's murderer was caught. But that won't bring her back. Well, no, but you were with her at the time. You and no one else. It was your responsibility. You should have protected her. You say Mia Fey was your teacher? Well then, I would say you have learned nothing, Trite. You robbed her of her life, and now you have let her sister suffer the same fate. I haven't sentenced Maya to death, no. What is this peculiar looking lock? Why don't we just break it open? It would be as simple as a matter of... I'm afraid we can't do that. This area has always been prone to earthquakes. The repeated tremors have weakened the foundation of the training hall. Any excessive force used to break the lock open would... Well, let's just say the inner temple and the sacred cavern would be a thing of the past. Very well then. Then I dare suggest the obvious solution of the opening it with the key? Ha! Sure, just show me where the keyhole on this trick lock. There's no keyhole? That's right. An interesting puzzle, huh? The person who set this lock is the only one who can open it. Then who was it? Simple. The accused. What? Iris? When an acolyte undergoes training inside the sacred cavern, the attending sister is responsible for locking the entrance. Obviously, the night of the murder was no exception. My fate was to train in there. Sister Bikini did mention it a number of times, now that I think about it. It is said that Iris was left in charge of supervising the early stages of the training. So Iris, the accused, is the only one who can open this lock. I have arranged for her to be brought here now. Iris is the only person who can open this lock. I hope she gets here soon. Hang on in there, Maya. Get you out. So, I should be getting back to work. Wait, Godot? How sure about Maya are you? There's no doubt about in my mind. She's in the sacred cavern, somewhere. It's the only place she could be. You better start praying. You better pray that friend of yours brings the accused back here soon. Hey George, listen up, right? There's only one thing I want to say to you before I go. I never accept you, never. You should choose your friends more carefully, Phoenix, right? That's what everyone says. It looks like I don't have much of a choice, as I just have to do what I can for now. And... Master of Kura in general, yeah. But why would anyone cover it in gravy? I can't make out what's drawn on this scroll at all. I never understand you Americans and your so-called artists. Artists? Yeah. Okay, leave. In the temple gate. I don't know, should I or shouldn't I? Sounds like someone's talking to himself, but where's that coming from? Yeah, I guess I better wash that off. That's what I will do. Well, but I can't do that, I'm a detective. Ah, my brain! This is driving me nuts. Is something troubling you, Scruffy? Please don't whip me like that all of a sudden, sir. It was merely a simple greeting, a friendly tap on the shoulder with my whip. So what's up, Gumshoe? Is something on your mind? How did you know, pal? Perhaps you were trying to decide if you wanted to wash that off or not. How did you know, sir? Oh yeah, I nearly forgot. You can't go there through that little gate there, okay? Oh, you mean the one that says no entry on it? I kinda already snuck in there. Is he trying to be clever or something? So what's behind there, Scruffy? Huh? A kind of garden-like garden. Garden? Yeah, anyway, it's on the investigation right now, so keep out. I'm not telling you, I'm asking you, pal. You got me? Isn't it normally the other way around? Well, see you later. So, shall we adjourn to this garden, Phoenix, right? Of course. What else would we do? I really want to know what Gumshoe was thinking of washing off. Maya. There's a strange feeling in the air. I wonder what it is. Strange feeling, forget about that. What's the strange writing on the stone lander? Ah, what are you doing here, sir? I thought I said you can't come in here. Don't you know, Scruffy? Von Karma will always show up whenever there is a clue. And there are plenty of clues to be found here. But... what the heck is that? Uh-oh. You spotted it, huh, pal? Are you kidding me? Couldn't be more obvious. It says Maya. Yeah, and before you ask, it's written in blood. We will answer all our questions now, Scruffy, without exception. Yes, sir. A little lantern, a little statue. It is certainly a quaint little garden. Oh. What is this huge ball here for? Oh, I know this one. It's a water ball, isn't it? Everything else is completely frozen over, but the ice in this ball has been broken. That's true. I wonder if this has any impact on the case. Well, I dosed my face earlier with the water in this. I was getting kinda sleepy. Next time you're sleepy, you need to only come to me, got it? There's a charm or something poking out from the snow. It looks pretty odd. There's a leather cord tied to it too. Apparently it belonged to the victim. To Miss Alice Donim. Yeah, there was a broken leather cord around the lady's neck. The ends of the cord was found on the victim. The victim on the charm. This charm match exactly. Sounds to me like this leather trinket is going to be my ticket to getting some very big answers. Grey Master's talisman, worn by Alice Donim, found in the garden of the inner temple. Okay, let's talk, I'm sure. The investigation. So how was the inner temple investigation going? We have the best forensic team in the world working in the place. Forensic team? And what was the outcome of the scientific study? Nothing, scientifically speaking. The place is as clean as a whistle. That's simply not good enough, Scruffy. Do you think I will let you get away with that? Uh-oh. Well, there were a couple of things that bothered me when I first got there, sir. The stone ladder and the surrounding area that's not covered in snow, correct? They look kinda fishy to me, you know, in scientifically speaking, so I got the lab boys to look them over. The results were... It's kinda hard to say actually. I guess I better look into them myself. About Maya. Oh, did Mr. Golo tell you yet? Yes, we heard. He's got a search party out looking for her, but there's nowhere else she could have disappeared to on this side of Duska Bridge. All we can do is wait for Mr. Edgeworth to get here, pal. Edgeworth? He's escorting Iris, to the defendant over here. You'll have to wait, since she is the only one who can open the sacred door to the sacred cavern. Oh, I think Mr. Edgeworth wants to talk to you about something too, pal. Huh? I wonder what it is. Just don't be expecting any good news when you talk to him. When I spoke to him, Mr. Edgeworth sounded so down, I felt like I was drowning. Sounds pleasant. Well, this is odd. There's no snow on the ground here, and it is almost perfect rectangle. It couldn't have happened naturally. Yes, it appears as though someone has carefully cleared away the snow. No doubt it was you, wasn't it, Scruffy? Huh? No, it wasn't me, sir. It was already like that when my man and I got here to start the investigation. It wasn't the police, then who did it? Oh yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Just between the three of us, okay? What is it? It's top secret. You can't tell anyone, got it? Understood. Well, when I was a kid, I got knocked out of the local wrestling contest, you see. I was so disappointed I just picked up my mouth guard and cried all the way home. Man, I got in so much trouble when I left it on the couch. Is that it? That's it. Whoever cleared the snow away must have had a reason, although I can't even begin to imagine what reason could be. There are a couple of torches here. I guess you need all the light you can get up here in the mountains. Yeah, I was looking at those things, pal. Looks like they have been lit pretty recently. Recently? How recent are we talking about? As recent as the night of the murder. I was training here on the night of the murder. It's not unreasonable to think these things were lit up lit up at the time, I guess. Oh fucking god. We're struggling with the words. Bloody writing. Maya, so these letters are written in blood? Yeah. What's worse, it's in with the victim's blood. Ah, this is Miss Donim's blood? We haven't done a detailed analysis yet, but it's looking that way, pal. Most interesting. Phoenix Wright, I presume you know, don't you? Well, Maya's name is written upside down. Why Maya's? You know what? That was really bothering me too. But I just came up with the answer as a result of my own special gumshoe investigation. Really? Do tell. Well, on the night of the murder, the stone lantern was upside down. Anyway, there's really one logical explanation to this mystery. Miss Alice Donim wrote these letters herself, in her own blood. You must be joking. That's impossible. From the writing in the victim's blood and the other clues left behind, it seems pretty likely that this garden was the scene of the Miss Alice Donim's murder. At least that's our current theory on how the events took place, pal. What? So Miss Donim was killed here? However you wanna look at it, that's what people are saying now. Then, what Sister Bikini saw in the courtyard at the main temple was... Well, what was it? If that wasn't the scene of the crime, what did she see? What do you think, Miss Von Karma? Surely a special gumshoe investigation will reveal the answer, no? But wait a second, the bloody writing all over all the other clues here. And all the other clues here, someone could have easily set all that up after the murder, right? Sorry, but that's not an option, pal. Why not? How quickly you forget Phoenix, right? Ever since the incident occurred, this place has been completely inaccessible, because Dusker Bridge was completely burned out. I was overseeing repairs to the bridge the whole time. No one came over here before me and my man, which means no one could have planted all this stuff here, pal. I can't think of a counter-argument to that. I knew it. I should have washed the blood off the lantern as soon as I got here. If this really was the scene of the crime, and then I need to figure out exactly what it was what that bikini actually saw. Okay. Oh, there's the Heavenly Hall. February 9, Hazakura Temple, main gate. It seems you have a visitor. Mr. Wright. Iris, I'm really glad to see you. Godot managed to mobilize the police by claiming the state of emergency. Not him again. Never mind him, we gotta hurry and unlock the sacred cavern. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. It's my fault someone so important to you is locked in there. Mr. Edgeworth, can we finish our conversation later? Alright. Let's hurry to the inner temple then. I see you later, right? Wait, Edgeworth, I'm coming with you guys. Sorry, right? I can't allow you to come with us. What? I hate to be the one to break it to you, but Maya Fey is in a rather delicate position. What do you mean by delicate position? This isn't simply a rescue operation, right? It's also an investigation. That being the case, we can't allow members of the public to interfere. Come on, Edgeworth. If anything happens, you'll be the first to know. Please understand, right? What's my Mr. Wright? All that matters is the Mystic Maya is rescued, correct? Aye. Listen to the voice of reason for a change, Phoenix Wright. From now on, consider anything beyond Dusker Bridge to be off limits. We'll be going now. Excuse us. This is no time to be standing around, Phoenix Wright. Aren't there other things that demand your attention? She's right. Thanks for reminding me. February 9, Hazakura Temple, main hall. Sister Bikini looks like she's shrunk some since I last saw her. Don't be so rude, Phoenix Wright. What's wrong, Sister Bikini? My, hello you two. How are you doing? From the sound of the sigh, I guess she's still pretty down. Iris was just here, you know. She was accompanied by that handsome crimson-clad prince. Is she talking about Edgeworth? It was just a courtesy call. I wasn't allowed to talk with her at all. Oh dear, it's all my fault that this has happened. Poor Iris. She was worried about my back, would you believe? What have I done to her? Only what you had to do, sister. You bravely and truthfully testified about what you saw. There's no shame in that. And we will see that your testimony was made in vain. Well, I don't hear anyone else saying that. Mr. Bluesus doesn't seem to share your opinion, I see. Huh? Me? Oh yes, you did great, Sister Bikini. Absolutely spectacular. You two are the only ones who have said that to me. I can't shake the feeling that I just became a shield to Shrew. Do you have a problem, Phoenix, right? Sure, she was brave to testify so truthfully like that, but I know she's still hiding something. Guess it's time to break those psyche locks of hers. Can I really do that now? Because I'm saving her. Then... But before I do that, I just checked that I lost frames. Yeah, I lost more. I don't know how that happens. Doesn't feel like my internet sucks, but whatever. Let's do him. Sister Bikini, the truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. I'm convinced that Miss Alice Donim had a special significance to this temple. As to why she had a special significance, I believe it has to do with her true identity. What on earth are you talking about? She was... Mr. Callis was an author, just an author of picture books. To be honest, I had my suspicions almost immediately after I met her. Suspicions? Yes, but I didn't have any evidence to support my theory, though. But now I do. This piece of evidence proves Miss Donnie's true identity. Miss Donim had this charm with her all the times. Where did you... This isn't some cheap good luck charm either. Then what do you think it is, Mr. Wright? What could a talisman like that possibly mean? It's a talisman, isn't it? Interesting. Oops. This thing speaks volumes about who Miss Donim really was. This talisman and the other item unequally prove Miss Donim's true identity. This? Well? What other item? What other item? I made the same mistake again! What are you talking about? Oh my god! Wait, I can't even unlock it. There should be a profile here. For Misty Faye. Fuck the misleading shit, Phoenix. Now I can finally unlock it. Yes, talk about stupid garbage game. I don't think I can do anything here until a very long time. What the fuck? Where can I move back to the... What the hell is going on? I'm locked here. I can't go there. What? See for yourself. Courtyard. Move. Main hall. Move. Main gate. Courtyard. Main gate. Can only move to main hall. What is this game? Did I trap myself here? I don't have the profile of Misty Faye. I can't unlock this shit. Okay. Whatever. Why don't I have the profile of Misty Faye?
Take that!
Maybe I don't need it? There's this hanging scroll. Painting is obscured by this gravy stain at the moment. But the scroll shows the master of the Kurain channeling technique. The crest at the top is a sign of that honorable title. The very same crest that adorns the talisman the victim carried with her. Oh, this crest is reserved for the master of Kurain. Who on earth that told you that nonsense? Got no idea what you're talking about. New master, Maya Fey, told me. What? You mean that Acolyte is Misty Fey's daughter? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. In fact, since her eldest daughter passed away, Maya is Misty Fey's sole successor. Mystic Misty! What? The hell was this cycle thing then? Are you kidding me? Mystic Alice graced us with her presence about a week ago. Then she showed me the talisman with that mark on it. Well, I nearly fainted. No one had seen her since she disappeared 17 years ago after all. What is the significance of this talisman, sister? The Kurain talisman is the symbol of the master of Kurain. Bearer must carry it with them always until their death. Until their death? So Alice Donin was really Maya's mother, huh? She was Misty Faye, the master of Kurain channeling technique. The truth comes out at last. It looks like we are making some headway here. Tell me, sister. After 17 years, why did she choose to show herself now? Because something happened that called her out of hiding. What happened? Well... What's happening? It can't be an earthquake. Earthquake? Oh my goodness! The inner temple! This kind of tremor might... The inner temple. The sacred cavern in the training hall, it might very well cave in. What? Maya! To be continued on this part? No. Nope. It seems to have passed. Well, we can just stand here and do nothing, let's go. What? Where? To the inner temple, of course. Where else? Sister Bikini, we'll finish this later, alright? Of course. Run along now. People may have been hurt. I must get some first aid kits ready. Come on then, Phoenix, right? They won't bar you from entering as long as I'm with you. Thank you. Right at that moment, I had the worst feeling in my gut. I just had an earthquake. Edgeworth. Oh, Edgeworth. I wonder if he's alright. You look worried. Are you thinking about my Edgeworth? Come on, let's go. Now I can go there, it seems. I gotta hurry to the inner temple and... Right! What are you doing here? How could I have... How do you expect us to understand if you don't speak up? Hey, why am I the one getting whipped? She's gone. Oh, the defendant, Iris. She's gone. Gone where? She fled. She escaped. What? So, it was just now, during the... It's easy to see Edgeworth's one and only weakness, his fear of earthquakes. I should have known better than to escort the defendant alone. As soon as the ground started shaking, everything went dark before my eyes and I stupidly passed out. That incident haunts you to this day, doesn't it? That's no excuse for letting the suspect get away. I can't believe I let it happen. Right? The inner temple area is a dead end, so she could have only escaped to this side. We haven't seen her. Then we need to get the manhunt underway now, and search Eagle Mountain from top to bottom. Wait, Edgeworth? Have you thoroughly checked the inner temple yet? Don't be ridiculous, why would I? The inner temple is like an island, there's no way to escape but to cross. No, that's not it. Iris isn't the type of person to run away, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? Sister Bikini mentioned something when we were with her. She said that Sacred Cavern might have caved in because of the quake. Then you think Iris might have gone to the inner temple to check on the situation? Listen, Edgeworth, I'm sure she's at the inner temple. Manhunt is not necessary. Right. Let's not waste any more time. We need to get to the training hall Sacred Cavern now. Alright, let's go. February 9 Inner Temple Training Hall. Unfortunately, the Sacred Cavern hadn't caved in, but what we found was something none of us could have ever expected. How can there be even more locks? What is the meaning of this? Iris? Iris, please tell me, what the hell is going on? This is where the to be continued is, and I'm ending the stream here, right here and right now. Oh. I should be able to end the game after this part and the trial combined. Okay. Oh, it was a long stream as well. Well, see you guys next time, and just kill yourselves, okay? Kill yourselves for watching this. Idiots.